Hey there, Tenno. I'm Shadow Scythe, and it's time for In the Know. Now, Devstream 94 literally just went down a few minutes ago, so the Gift of the Lotus alert is currently live. However, not as much to talk about this time since this was the last Devstream right before TennoCon. Therefore, the majority of stuff that they could have talked about is pretty much being kept under a very tight wrap. However, what is that? Mobile defense, corpus. I can do that with something else other than Banshee. Anyway, one thing that is definitely worth mentioning is we at least have confirmation for what's going to be in the next Prime Vault unsealing. That is going to be both Mag and Rhino Prime, quite possibly right around when TennoCon actually is, maybe a little bit prior. I mean, we'll see. Who do I want to use? Fuck it, I'll use Chroma. Anyway, I have an asset that you guys should be seeing for that. It actually, right around now is when it should go down. Next up is when the update that brings us Harrow goes live. They will be adding a new feature to the friends list. That new feature is a little note that you can add to people in your friends list to kind of manage them, and then if you send anybody new a friend request, you can add this little note that'll show up for them whenever they choose to accept or deny it. Next up, and this is pretty cool, this is more than likely will only be coming with Harrow and not before, is we have a Tenno style spear gun coming as well. So that'll be exciting to see. If I saw correctly during the dev stream, the name of the weapon is the Wraith or Wraith. I'm not quite sure how they're gonna pronounce it. And at the moment, that name is also a placeholder item. So it's possible when that drops, it'll be named something different. But there is an asset available for it that you guys will probably be seeing right around now or beforehand.
Location reached. Drop me in and defend our position.
But, so that'll be exciting to see whenever that goes live. And then something that a lot of people were kind of hoping for, because we saw it with the over on Prime trailer, they are adding grass particle effects to Hallowed Ground. However, they're doing this in two different versions. Regular Hallowed Ground on Oberon will have the grass effects. However, for Oberon Prime, that grass effect is going to be a little more similar to a fern with how it looks. So, still, that's going to be pretty cool to see. And then following up with the Ambulus Reborn event, how we had the new Grenier or Corpus dropships added, they have a concept work in progress for a Grenier dropship as well. It's not finished yet, so I don't have an actual date to give you as to when we can expect that. However, I can guarantee you guys this, is that it looks really cool. and I will be excited to see it. Now, there were a lot of other things that were kind of mentioned, but a lot of it was pretty much just them answering questions about their views on certain things and whatnot. And then there's a lot of stuff that I'm just not going to talk about because although it was mentioned, it's one of those things that's we're gonna get more info at TennoCon. So it's literally not even worth me mentioning something that the extent of the answer we got was, yeah, that's gonna happen, or no, that's not gonna happen.
Breach complete. We're free to proceed.
Because when that's the extent of the answer, there's really no reason for me to even bother to mention it.
We've got robots inbound.
So yeah, as far as content, this video is going to be a little dry compared to past InTheKnow videos that I've done. But it's all with due reason. So let me get this going over there. Let me get that going right there. And let me get that going right there. Now, one thing that was asked about is the Zephyr Deluxe skin for all of you Zephyr fans. Unfortunately, that was, as I've stated before with that, and as they reconfirmed, that is pretty much a passion project of one of the employees. It is not something that the staff is actively working on. And the employee who's been working on that has been very busy, so it's pretty much whenever they get a free moment to work on it. But there really isn't much else to talk about. I mean, as I'm sure you all know by this point, Barrow is going to be in a very special relay for TennoCon this year, where he will be carrying everything that he has ever brought up to that point. So we still do have a few weeks of, well, we have at least 2 weeks of stuff that Barrow can bring prior to TennoCon to add a little bit more to his inventory. So if I were you guys, I'd start saving up on ducats now, just so that you have them, whenever it's all said and done. This way, if you happen to miss out on something that Barrow's had in the past, you can pick it up at TennoCon this year, or around that time this year, as long as you at least have the digital ticket. You need to at least pick up the digital ticket to have access to that relay. Physical ticket holders will also have access to it, so I myself will be able to get into that relay. However, I will not be able to show you guys the relay itself, other than maybe through screenshots that I will tweet out. Because I will be, like, any little bit that I happen to get on Warframe during that weekend will be on my laptop, which my laptop is strong enough to run Warframe, but it is not strong enough to record. So I can do still images if you guys would like to see that. But keep in mind, you will have to get it. But keep in mind, those still images will pretty much be to see what you may be missing out on if you don't pick up a ticket. Because if you picked up a digital ticket or a physical ticket, I'm sure you guys will be checking it out actively on your own. And if you did not pick up any version of the ticket, you will not be. I'm pretty almost certain that you will not be able to once the relay and everything actually goes live. So, I mean, it's your choice. Don't feel pressured into getting it or anything. Because everything that he'll have there will make its way back around. It's just a matter of when it does. One thing that was asked about was the return of the Bratton and Leto Vandal variants. And they said that those would be returning. However, it'll be a surprise when they actually do. So I'm kind of assuming that we may see them get phased into the invasions like other weapons have, or we may even see them return as a reward for another clan event. There really hasn't been any word as the armistice changes with Warframe, since at the present moment all that stuff related to researching towers for dark sectors and whatnot can't be done, and it's kind of annoying because it stops clan progression.
The odds were against us, Tenno, but we did it.
So, I mean, that may be a question that somebody will ask at TennoCon. I probably won't be asking it myself because I'll be busy gathering or jotting down notes and everything to kind of do a live YouTube video after the fact, covering everything that was talked about there. So if it's not if it doesn't get asked live there, I will most definitely state it as a question for the Devstream following TennoCon and give you guys an update as to what is said on that. Of course, if you guys want to get the full list of details and see everything that was talked about, and even see the Grenier Chem Soldier Nox in action, and get an early preview of the Earth Remaster, then be sure to jump over to the Play Warframe YouTube channel and check out the Devstream itself, or even jump onto the Warframe Twitch page and watch the Devstream, as it will have been archived. But thank you guys for tuning in. It really means a lot to see just how much you guys actually support my content. And like I said, you can stay up to date with me on Twitter and player.me. Links for those are always going to be in the description box below, and that has not changed since I started doing these. You can support the channel and its endeavors by subscribing on GameList, but that also simultaneously supports my Twitch channel if you guys want to check me out there. And until next time, Tenno, stick to the shadows.